Welcome y'all to Robin on the Farm. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really easy, no knead everything bread. This one's delicious. This one's awesome to mix up at night right before you go to bed and then bake it in the morning. Or you can mix it up in the morning and bake it at night right in time for dinner. This is a good one and I think you're going to like it. I'm going to leave you the recipe for this no-knead everything bagel bread on my website, robinonthefarm.com. I'm going to leave you the recipe in cups and spoons and in grams. To get started on this really easy bread recipe that you don't even need a mixer for, I'm going to start with 5½ cups of bread flour. You can also use all-purpose flour. That's about 660 grams of flour. For those of you who want to use fresh milled flour, I'll put a note on my website. Now you're going to want to mix this one up in a really big mixing bowl because this dough does rise quite a bit. Now it's time to add the yeast. I'm using the SAF instant yeast, but you can also use active dry yeast in this recipe. We're only going to add 1/2 teaspoon of yeast. Now the reason why we're only using 1/2 teaspoon is because we're going to let this rise quite a long time. This will allow our flavors to develop and just give us a really nice loaf of bread. Now it's time to add the salt. I like to use this Redmond's real salt, but you can use any salt that you want. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. Definitely don't pour it over your mixing bowl so that you don't oversalt your bread. Now it's time to add the everything bagel mix. This is going to give our bread so much flavor. We're going to add some to the dough and also to the outside of the bread. If you've never seen this or you can't find it, I'll also leave you how you can make your own. It's basically dried onion flakes, dried garlic flakes, poppy seeds, sesame seeds, caraway seeds, and some kosher salt. And it is good. I use it in so many different recipes. Those are all of our dry ingredients, so I'm going to give this a quick little whisk and just get them all mixed together. I like using my Danish dough whisk when I make this recipe. You can also use a spurtle or a wooden spoon, or you can even use your mixer if you'd rather do that. Now it's time to add the liquids. I'm going to add 2 1/4 cups of cool water. Now you want this to be cool rather than warm like we usually use for bread, just because this is going to have a long overnight or all day rise. Next it's time to add some oil. I like to use olive oil in this recipe. It goes really well with the everything bagel seasoning and it just makes your bread nice and soft. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of this olive oil. But you can use any kind of oil that you want, or you can use 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And that is already all of the ingredients that we need for the dough. Now it's time to give this a really good mix. I'm going to grab my Danish dough whisk again. These Danish dough whisks are really great for thick bread batters. Now, like I said, you can use a spurtle, a wooden spoon, you can use your mixer if that's easier for you, but I'm just going to mix this up for just a minute or two until I have a nice shaggy dough with no dry flour left. When I have it mixed up as well as I can with my Danish dough whisk, then I like to go in with my hands or with a plastic bowl scraper and just be sure that I don't have any dry flour hiding out anywhere. This makes it nice and clean if you use one of these bowl scrapers. Now it's time to let this dough rise. You want to let this dough rise anywhere from 8 to 14 hours. So make it work for you. I like to mix this up at night and bake it in the morning. You can also mix it up in the morning and bake it in time for dinner. Make sure you cover it with some plastic wrap so that it doesn't dry out, and then just leave it on your countertop and let it rise, and I'll show you this in the morning. I've let this dough rise for about 9 hours. You can see it's puffy, it's expanded, it's risen really well. And now it's time to turn it out from this bowl and shape it. Now, I like to sprinkle a little bit of flour on my dough mat. This is a really sticky dough, so you definitely need some flour, and we want to handle it just minimally. So I like to sprinkle a little bit more flour on top of my dough before I turn it out. This is just going to make the dough a little bit easier to handle and a little bit more manageable. And then I like to use my plastic bowl scraper again, and I like to just scrape around the sides of the bowl to help release this dough. If you don't have a bowl scraper, you can just flour up your hands or oil them. That'll make it easier too. That way the dough won't be sticking to you quite as much. Now this bread is so easy because you don't even need to really do much to shape it. I like to just take the sides of the dough and just fold them into the middle. Just go all the way around your dough, and we're just forming it into a really simple round, or like a bowl shape. Once you make it all the way around your dough and it's all met together in the middle, then just flip it over so that that seam side is down. And that's really all it takes. You can stop here and your dough is already nicely shaped. Feel that it's nice and soft. If you want to build a little bit of surface tension, you can just drag the dough towards you. This will just give you a really nice, tall, beautiful loaf. To bake this bread, you're going to want to use some kind of covered baker. I've used a cast iron Dutch oven, an enameled Dutch oven, a clay baker, a cloche. I've made this bread in lots of different pots, and it works great in any of them. So use what you have. I'm going to use this 5-quart Dutch oven. I like to put this trivet in the bottom of my Dutch oven. It just keeps my bread from getting a little bit too crunchy. I also like to use these bread slings. I like to put my dough right on top of the bread sling, and then it doesn't stick like it does to parchment paper. Sometimes the parchment paper can bake into your bread a little bit if it's stuck, but you can just oil up the bottom of your Dutch oven or use parchment paper for this recipe too. Now that I have the lid on, I'm going to let this rise for another hour and a half, and then it'll be time to bake it. I've let this rise for an hour and a half. Oh, look at this beautiful dough. You can see that everything bagel seasoning all throughout it, but now it's time to add some more on top to give us lots and lots of flavor. I like to spritz my dough with a little bit of water. That's just going to help that everything bagel seasoning adhere to the top and stay on a little bit better. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of this everything bagel seasoning right on top of my dough. I'm just going to sprinkle it on. Now, if you want a little bit more or a little bit less, you can do that too. The great thing about homemade bread is that you get to make it exactly how you like it. Now I'm going to score the top of this dough. I'm going to use this bread loam and just score about a 1/2 inch down into this dough. This is going to give us a natural expansion point. This will help this steam to release, and your bread won't burst while it's baking if you do this. You can make it look really pretty, really decorative. I like to do a really simple score when I do mine. I'm not that creative. But this does help your bread to bake a little bit better and makes it prettier when it's done. So don't skip this step. You can use a loam like I am, or you can even just use a sharp knife. Now it's time to bake this bread. I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to put it in the oven. I like to do a cold bake. That means my oven isn't preheated. I'm going to put this in and then set my oven to 450 degrees. I'm going to let this bake in the oven for 50 minutes. Now it's been 50 minutes and I'm taking the lid off. Look at that gorgeous loaf of bread. I'm going to let this brown up for about another 5 minutes. I let it brown up for 5 more minutes and now it is ready. I like to get it out of the Dutch oven immediately after getting it out of the oven. It's so easy just to pull up on the bread slings. Now I'm just going to let it cool and then we'll slice into it. This no knead everything bread looks so good and it smells so good. I am ready to slice into this and take a bite. I wish that y'all were here so that you could have a bite with me because I am excited for this one. Look at that. You can see the everything bagel seasoning all throughout it. I love that. I like that way better than just having it on top. I'm gonna go ahead and slice into this just a little bit more. This bread is so soft. It's crunchy and crispy on the outside, but the inside is so soft. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? I mean, this is like a gourmet piece of bread, but it was so easy to make. Oh, just so easy. Oh, it's so soft. Look at that. Soft on the inside, crunchy on the outside. I'm gonna take a little bite right here. So much flavor. This one has so much flavor and it tastes so good. As I'm eating this right now, I'm wondering why I make bread any other way. This was so easy, so simple, very hands-off, just quick and easy to make, and the result is amazing. It's so good. Oh, it is so good. The only bad thing about this loaf is that some of these seeds might get stuck in your teeth. So be sure to check your teeth before you go out in public and start smiling at everybody. I'm going to leave the printable recipe down in the description and on my website, Robin on the Farm. Y'all have got to try this one. It is so easy and so delicious. I get asked all the time how I like to store my breads. Well, I like to store them in these handmade beeswax bread bags. My daughters and I make these together. They're made of 100% cotton, saturated in organic beeswax, and they're nice and big. They're 11.5 by 17 inches, big enough for this big old loaf of bread. They're also great for cheeses, produce, cookies, muffins. You can find them on my website along with the printable recipe at robinonthefarm.com. Let me know if you make this and what you think about it. Thanks so much for being here with me on Robin on the Farm. I'll see y'all next time.
Robin's in the kitchen, dough beneath her hands, wheat from the fields and eggs from her land. Sunlight through the window, a warm golden glow. She's working hard to make that dough. With flour on her apron, loving each knead, ground wheat fresh, sowing her seed. The smell of fresh bread rises in the air. Simple life without a care. In Robin's kitchen, dreams come alive. Each loaf of bread a reason to strive. From sunrise to sunset, her heart's on show, working hard.